Hey, what's up you guys? ConfessOrDie here, bringing you my second video on TGN Idol. But before I get into this footage, I want to thank everybody who left positive feedback on my first video. It's very well appreciated. I read the comments, I responded to most of them. And I'm going to continue this series with the second video of my Mage guide, and it's going to be for 50s now because I'm now level 50 after using my leveling guide. And basically this is a PvE spec. This is for a new 50 pretty much. You're going to want to put 51 points in your pyromancer tree, 10 for Archon for increased fire damage and critical hits to return mana, and then 5 in Elementalist for crit. This spec can be easily changed to a Pyro Elementalist build, but for now I'm going to remain with this spec since I am a new 50 and I think it's very good for new 50s. So basically you're going to need this macro here. It's cast Inferno, cast Countdown, cast Flamebolt, cast Fireball. This is your standard rotation, and I'm going to show you quickly a single target scenario since I'm actually in a dungeon, guys, and I want to show it in a dungeon. So let's do this quickly. So you're going to want to hit this, and you're going to keep spamming this. The only thing you're going to have to change is when your Cinder Burst procs, because this macro doesn't include Cinder Burst, because before you use Cinder Burst, you're going to want to use Internalized Charge to increase its damage. Everything else that procs will be covered in your macro, but when Cinder Burst procs, you're going to have to click that. That's pretty much it for single target, guys. It's just this macro, a couple cooldowns, and see that Cinder Burst right here? You hit your Internalized Charge, and then you proc, and you click your Cinder Burst, because it's not part of your macro. Alright, that's it for single target. Quickly, here is your AoE, which is Firestorm. You're going to want to use Firestorm for your AoE. Okay, now I'm going to show this in the dungeon because I like to show it in a real scenario. So I'll be right back, guys. Alright, guys, so here I am in the Lantern Hook. The Fall of the Lantern Hook, to be exact. This is a T1 dungeon. Since I am not quite geared yet, I queued for a T1. And yeah, I'm going to show you AoE, but also single target from clips from this dungeon. So basically what I did was I would just put down my Ground of Power, and then I would use Firestorm to AoE these mobs down. Basically, Ground of Power is a damage bonus for your fire spells. The only trick is that you have to be standing in the center of it. Like, it literally goes on the ground. It's literally the spell name. It's a Ground of Power. And once you're standing in that area, you get a 15% bonus. You can see me standing in it right now, actually. And whenever we have to move, I just take it with me pretty much. And then I cast it where I need to go. And then I use my Firestorm to AoE the mobs down. I will show single target later in this video, but as usual, like the video if you enjoy this content. Leave me some feedback in the comments, guys, like you did in the previous video. I also have a personal channel. You can check that out at ConfessOrDie Rift. And yeah, that's all for that. Alright, so here's a single target. I'm using my macro. We come up here, and up ahead there's more mobs to AoE down, so I get my Firestorm ready to go. My Ground of Power right on the ground. And here we go, AoEing some more mobs down. I only recommend this for, I would say, T1s and T2s. As soon as you start to get into raiding, I would say for AoE you're going to want a Stormcaller Elemental build. And for single target DPS, you're going to use pretty much the same rotation, guys, but it's a Pyromancer and an Elementalist. So you will have a pet, and you will have more cooldowns, which is always good. I would say it's the best single target DPS in the game right now. It's Pyromancer Elementalist, and it is extremely similar to this spec and rotation, guys. So it's not a very big change if you decide to go Pyro Elementals later. So here I'm single targeting, and I just use my macro, and I make sure that when my Cinder Burst procs, since it's not part of the macro, I hit my Internalized Charge, and then I hit Cinder Burst for that extra 20% damage. It's always nice. Here's some more AoE, I believe, or it might be a little bit of single target. I also recommend you use Fulminate on, single target when you have 100 charge and you need to burn it. because it can hit up to 4K, guys. It's very good. So just a quick overview. Your main spells are the macro, and then Cinder Burst when that procs, your cooldowns, and that's it, guys, and then Firestorm for AoE. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. You will see more from me in the future. So until next time, guys, ConfessOrDie out.